Yeah, we're today here to talk a little bit about your experience in coaching, in Istrian Coaching Sprint, and I was thinking you both come from a very expanded HR experience. Zdravka is you're a psychologist, Lana, you are HR, long-term, international corporation also. Now you're in consultancy. And after like decades of working this in these fields, what brought you to an idea to start the coaching education? Why coaching? To enhance your portfolio.
The idea of getting into the coaching sparked as idea in my mind, I would say maybe 3 to 4 years ago. But at that time, I didn't have the time availability. And it was just building as an idea in my mind. I was attending some other educations that were not coaching, but LinkedIn as a network exposes people who went through the coaching, people you know from the business setting or outside of business setting, and you know how they made progress themselves when they finished this coaching education. So that was something additionally that actually pushed me more into this direction of completing the coaching education.
It's interesting that you say, because I think, like, from my experience, I'm like almost 10 years in this field or even more. Like, this idea of starting actually needs at least 6 months to even year or even more to be like cooking inside of us before we actually like go, oh yes, I wanted this education.
For me, it was a bit longer.
For me also, I was like searching.
Yeah, exactly.
A decade or even 12 years ago. So.
It takes time to explore it, because nowadays coaching in general, when you hear that word, some people which are not pretty much involved, but familiar with it, might misinterpret it with something else, something which isn't coaching exactly. So all in all, it takes time to explore a little bit and to find out that it can be scientifically based, it can be really something which helps people, motivates people, brings the best out of them. And it's not just like positive psychology as we know.
Yes.
From some different kind of
I haven't introduced
coaching.
you, but now we know you are a psychologist. You are the one who is a psychologist.
Yes.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And there are so many different schools and different approaches, and not everybody is fond over, like you said, science-based coaching. And okay, and when you were searching, what were you searching for? Like, what was like? What was the idea?
Well, I got interested when I went to the ICF website, and I was searching through the website, finding out more about the coaching from that perspective. And then I got interested to see what kind of education and type of education I would need to explore further and to complete in order to become the certified coach, because I really wanted to do it the right way. I didn't just want to put some title under my name just for the sake of attracting some clients or whatsoever. I really wanted to do it by the book, let's put it that way. So I was exploring, I have to say, a lot of the national that we have here in Serbia, different providers, organizations that provide coaching services. But as I said, it was brewing in my mind for some time. I wasn't in the rush to complete it. Like, I really wanted to take time to explore further. And then I came across the coaching center, and again, it continued brewing in my mind. And then I was following your website, following your the constructivist approach that you have, that you were telling us more on LinkedIn. I was following the people who already completed that constructivist coaching education, and then it was just the right timing for me to dive into it beginning of the last year.
Beautiful. And you, besides science things?
Yes. So my story is a little bit specific because, as we have already mentioned, I studied psychology here at Belgrade's University, and founder of Coaching Centar is Lana, who was my teacher at my fourth years of psychology of work. Yes. So I mean, from the moment that I met her, she was a unique professor. She was not like most of the professors who would come, hold a lecture, and then go out. She really performed. Now I know that she performed coaching on us. So basically, yes, I remember our first class when she said something like, "Okay, 5 years from now, on which position are each one of you?" And then we talked, and then she asked us, "Okay, what do you need from skills?" So all in all, it was basically coaching. But I really liked her approach, and from that moment, I knew that someday I would like to involve in coaching. First of all, it is one-on-one or one-on teams, but one-on-one coaching is my preference. I mean, I like to work with people individually, to have individual approach towards them. Maybe it's not so strange that I started my career in recruiting. So basically, also in the recruitment process, you in some way perform some kind of coaching.
Sure.
Yes. Yes. So especially in that moment when you explore how does the person matches to the company values, where does the person sees himself. Or, yes. So all in all, it's coaching in small circle. I would say, I would call it like that. So I waited a couple of years to gain some experience with people, and also to
Working as HR?
Yes, and also to get to some kind of position where I can basically sell the idea that we need this, and that it can contribute to company success and so on. So since I would say year and a half ago, I started a new position as HR business partner. So now I'm working with departments, with talents, with identifying talents, helping leaders in their leadership skills. So all in all, this is the field where coaching can be applied, I would say, most significantly in one company.
For sure, you can embed it in all of these things. But you were like, as I'm listening to you, you were going even further. You had like a strategic thinking where like, let me be in a position where I can influence and be maybe like some sponsor of coaching culture. So it's not like I want to gain my knowledge for my sake. I want this for my company or the company you are working right now. This is beautiful. And what interests me maybe here the most is like there's so many schools, and okay, you choose ours, which is beautiful, and we are super thankful for this. But also we are recognized as an online coaching provider. We are online-based, English-based provider company, and we have this one event per year, so which is like very week, very intense. It's like we call it sprint, coaching sprint. So why did you choose among all these providers and even us and our different open cohorts, why would you choose one which is like outside of your country? You have to travel, of course it's on a sea, but it is a little bit as a retreat, or even you may call it, but it's you have to invest whole week, like and a lot of energy. So why would you choose this one instead of some other, since it was brewing, as you said? It's like it wasn't an instant decision.
No, it wasn't. For me personally, it was a great idea to run away.
I have a song in my mind. Run away.
I knew if I if I stayed in Belgrade, it would be harder for me to actually separate myself from my work. So just the idea that this sprint coaching is going to take part in another country, and I want to have the opportunity to bring on my laptop and work, because there is offline sessions and trainings and everything. So I really made a very conscious, and I was laser focused to be 100% present there. So that was one on the bonus part. Is if you ask me, that the coaching sprint was held outside of Belgrade in a great setting. So that was something I was really looking for, let's say.
Yeah, and Istria is like really one of the most beautiful places in like
that's another bonus. And for me personally, attending this coaching education was a very personal experience, where you bond with other people who are attending it, where you share some of your experiences. So it's much easier to connect with all these people on that level, where you're gaining knowledge, sharing experiences, where you're in very, I would say, setting that is very supportive. It's always better to do it, from my experience, if you're offline.
It's interesting, presence, like one of very important skills in coaching. So you help yourself like being present over there and learning, and and this is something we often teach and reflect on. Was I present during the session? Were my thoughts over here? And today's world is like really challenging us. Every single minute, it's hard to be present because in general how world works.
Definitely.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, for me the same, more or less. I'm more fan of one-on-one connection and on-site connection. Even throughout my work, I, for example, have opportunity to work either from home or sometimes from the office, to mix it. But if I take a look at my calendar, most of the time I'm in the office. I like to be surrounded by people. I like to share experiences with people one-on-one, to see their emotions, to see how they feel, how they react to something. So all in all, I mean, it was easy for me to decide to have something on site and in the real world. And on the other side, when I saw that it is holding on Istria, so my thoughts were at the moment, this is coaching by the sea. So what else can I imagine more and ask for more? So I have sea, and I have personal development, learning new things, and also something which I'm really, really interested in throughout so many years so far. So it was easy decision for me, even though it was, I don't know, 600 kilometers away from home, but it was worth it. Yeah, it was worth it every single minute.
Beautiful. Now then, I have a very hard question for you now, since you shared all of this. It's like, would you see some pros and cons when you like combine like online and on-site, just to have like a whole picture? Would you see any like additional, since you were talking mostly of pros? Yeah.
I can't see any con, if that's the question, of attending live coaching education. From my perspective, of course,
because I'm sure like you had some educations online. There is no possibility. We always have some online educations. Of course, like normal today. So anything?
I mean, I personally, I have online coaching sessions, so that's something that otherwise I wouldn't be able to coach people who are on the other part of the world. So I'm not saying that attending online coaching sessions or being present in online coaching educations has many cons, but meeting people in person, being just there at the time, is something that I don't think, as for now, can be replaced with online setting, especially when you learn new things from the beginning. Like, I really didn't know a lot about coaching, specifically about all the tools, techniques, and everything. So it was many things were very new to me. So I think it would be, for me personally, harder to acquire all this knowledge if it was only in the online setting. I will confuse these two intermittently. So I'm again speaking just from my perspective. For me, when you learn something new, which you're really interested in, if you have the opportunity to attend offline, go for it. That's just how I think.
It's totally your preference. So
Totally.
I have to BS girls here. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with everything. Additionally, maybe additional pros part is that here, for example, we were there for 5 days, and throughout each day we had from 9 to 5 lectures and sessions and everything, but it doesn't end at 5 o'clock. When we were finishing it and when we went to dinner and hanged around and so on, so we had opportunity to share experiences, to exchange our thoughts. So we really had opportunity to live in this coaching mindset throughout these 5 days. So which I personally really liked. Maybe only one con from my perspective would be that for 5 days it might be a short period for all of the things that we have learned there. So we went through individual coaching, group coaching, team coaching, all of that in 5 days. Basically, for me, it took more time to have everything cleared in my mind and to have to become confident about each one of these approaches. So 5 days might be a short period for such an education, but on the other side, we had opportunity to have all these lectures online and to get this access to coaching platform and to repeat lectures and to just bring ourselves to the level of the confidence.
So you had to be a little bit more adults than others because, like,
yes, exactly.
The asynchronous part comes after the synchronous, like in 32 hours of synchronous, and then the asynchronous totally on you. Whilst when we have like from week to week, you have a small parts, bits and pieces of asynchronous, which is like easier to digest. So you have to be really adult and like
spot on.
Okay. And now, like almost a year after, what would you say coaching brought to you? Where are you on this journey? Because for me personally, this is like a never-ending journey. I was before this reading some things regarding like coaching culture, and it's so interesting how this like coaching culture journey for a company actually can go so further and further and further. Like Peter Hawkins is talking about this, like when you have like very flourishing coaching culture within a company, then you start like communicating to your stakeholder through coaching with your family, etc. So for me, it sounds like never-ending journey. So where would you like? Where are you now? Are you using it? What are you doing? Whatever, like. Where are you in this journey?
I can say that I'm using everything that I've learned so far every day in my personal setting, home with my child. That's not very successful. Let's just put it this way.
Let's be honest.
You took opportunity to
honest, but I'm giving my best. But I'm definitely much closer to getting this ICF certification. That's something which is, on my list. Then I have my consultancy.
Yeah, this is what I want to do. You are a consultant, so you have an opportunity to use it.
Yes, I have opportunity to use it. I work mostly with clients who are outside of Serbia. So that's really giving me enormous pleasure to meet other people, meet other cultures, their way of thinking, maybe to compare to our culture, in sort of through the coaching sessions to learn more about them. And it's really, 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 it's enriched my business life and my knowledge in every possible way.
So you kept your consultancy work and then added coaching as an additional
Exactly, as additional
service in your
to my
portfolio.
business, yes.
But are you using coaching, would you say, in other services, like in training or in consultancy? Because very often we can embed it. So
Yes, it is possible to embed it, but it's a different type of active listening that you would apply when you're mentoring, coaching, so you really need to understand where you would put, sprinkle a little bit of coaching, but it really need to be careful about it, what you want to achieve. Everything has to be in the service of the person you're giving the coaching or mentoring support. So you just need to be in the mind of the person who is accepting this, what you're giving. Is it in the best service of that person? So, but yes, definitely, I can see I am implementing coaching on myself. I think that's the best purpose, maybe one of the best purposes that I've got from the coaching. I intensely implement coaching questions to myself each and every day. So that's something that's the depth I gained from the coaching education so far.
Yeah, but you dived right into it. You started coaching right after, and now you're even very close to ICF certification. Beautiful. Good.
In my case, I mostly use it in my organization. We're still, I would say, on the beginning of introduction of coaching culture in the organization itself, because it can be challenging since something like this did not really exist before. It used to be in some fragments, but not like as the whole culture. So now I'm trying to introduce it with leadership team and also with the people I'm working with. Mostly I am focused on identify talents to help them bring the best out of them and to help them reach their goals and all in all to follow their journey path and career path in our organization. But on the other side, I also tend to implement it on a daily basis with my friends, my boyfriend, with my brother. My younger brother was my first coachee. Yes, during his he and his friend during the study during the examination period in their faculties. So yes, as Lana mentioned, there is so many aspects which can be influenced by coaching in our lives, not just mine personally, but throughout each of our relationships we have, we can implement something and help people clear their minds and also our minds as well.
But do you receive, be honest, do you receive sometimes like, please don't coach me now?
Exactly. Yes. Don't try these techniques with me. I'm not interested.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
It's good. It's you're influencing, so they're recognizing boundaries. They're recognizing when you're doing whatever. I wanted to add on whatever you shared. Like, it's not easy to start with, especially if you're a single person in a multinational corporation. So I just want to be like very supportive here because as I was saying, I was sharing experience from like reading this about coaching culture, and then very often I support companies in creating coaching cultures. It's actually something which takes like sometimes even a decade.
Exactly.
And especially if there is like one person as a beginner, as a first influencer like you are, which is beautiful. Like you are bringing the light of coaching there, and it might be received as something like a little bit strange, too different, especially in some kind of corporations. You are working in a plant, which is like a specific environment. Yeah, but you will get there.
Exactly. I remember when I had the first introduction with one of the departments, and one colleague asked me, so he's from some kind of technical department, let's call it like that, and he asked me, Zdravka, how are you going to coach us? You have nothing in common with our field, with the things that we do, and then you need to explain what is it exactly. It's not mentoring. I'm not going to teach you how to do your job. I'm here from some other stuff. So
I think because the concept of coaching is relatively new in I have
some
to say
areas
now,
of businesses.
some areas of business, and in general, people are still like poking. What is exactly coaching? Am I going to be brainwashed? What's going to happen in there? No, really, different people have different conceptions in their minds of coaching. So I'm glad that Coaching Center is really leading the way in teaching people and teaching our community, not just in Serbia, but wider in the region, about what coaching really is. And what are the benefits of being coached by coaches who went through the education and know what they're doing.
Thank you for this conversation. It gave me some insights I maybe didn't have so far, even I met you and were there with you for 5 days. And would you like to share some, like, I don't know, an insight from Istrian Coaching Sprint last year, or some, I don't know, message to maybe people who are considering or thinking of having a retreat/education in coaching for 5 days by the sea in beautiful Istria?
Just go for it.
yeah,
Just book it.
if you are questioning yourself, book it and give it a chance. Yes.
You will not regret it. 100%.
Yes. If you don't, even for some people who might not be in love with constructivistic approach, because it can be specific
for sure.
In
thank
a
you for
way.
bringing this up.
Yes, I mean, people are going to enjoy there. First of all, the environment. Second of all, the connections that you make, and as third, I would say, you will definitely learn something, and you will even find out that you maybe don't like this approach, but you like coaching overall. So maybe it's time to find some different coaching approach, maybe REPT or something similar, where you will find yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being today
Thank
with
you for
me.
inviting
Thank
us.
you
Pleasure is ours.
for seeing you again, and hopefully we won't be waiting for another year.
Maybe you can bring us to Istria with you. You know, we can drive, and we will be of the help. Definitely.
Drivers, hostess,
Whatever you think. Just
peer coaches. Okay.
Let us run away once again.